Hello friends and my dear students. Today we are going to discuss about the design guidelines for different kinds of manufacturing processes like casting, sand casting and machining. So this is the last topic of your unit 1 in design of machine elements 1 BTech 5th semester mechanical engineering curriculum of Rajasthan Technical University. So let's get it started. Before starting with the design guidelines, let's have a quick review or recap of casting, sand casting process. As you can see in the sand casting, this is a schematic diagram of that. As you can see, there are different members of the gating systems which you have already studied in the manufacturing science. Pouring cup is there, blind riser will be there, cavity is also having two parts, scoop and drag. Then this is core, and this is runner, this is sprue, and there will be one gate. So flow of molten metal is there from gating system. Okay, and the rate of cooling in gases involve all the influence of quality of casting. Means whatever rate of cooling will be there, that will influence the quality of casting. Now, what are the design guidelines for sand casting? I am specifically taking about sand casting. We will discuss in detail of other type of casting in during upcoming time. So, in the sand casting, design the part so that the shape is cast easily. Means the shape of that particular casting or product should be easily cast. Select a material suitable for the part size, mechanical properties. Means material should be selected in such a way that it should be suitable to the part and size of the size and mechanical properties of that particular part. Locate the parting line of the mold in the part. Means you have to locate the parting line of the mold appropriately in the part, so that whenever you are removing, that should not be any cracks or any kind of deformations in that. Locate and design the gates to allow uniform feeding. Uniform feeding is the important criteria, as I have already told, that rate of cooling and gas involved influence the quality of casting. So uniform feeding should be there, so you have to design and locate your gates accordingly. Select an appropriate runner geometry for the system. Means runner should be appropriate. Means runner geometry, the shape, either it is of conical shape or any other shape. That shape should be selected properly. Locate mold features such as sprue, screens, risers appropriately, even in your core and chaplets. Make sure proper control and good practice at a place. Means the control of that particular gating system should be in proper control, so that you should not face any kind of difficulty during the manufacturing. So these are few design guidelines which you have to consider during designing for sand casting. Okay, means designing the gating system for the sand casting. Designing for cast part are corners and angles and section thickness. Means you have to use a fillet with a radius of 3 to 25 of mm. Okay, and sharp corners and angles should not be there. You have to avoid these sharp corners and angles. Then these are few things. Means these are the poor characteristics because they have the sharp corners here. This should be some uniform shape. So this is the way. Okay, so these sharp corners will create the poor geometry of your drawing, so that should not be there. So you have to maintain some uniform cross section. Okay, for this all kind of designing you are going to do for the casting parts. Similarly, these are the poor drawings, and as you can see, this is the good drawing. Means some sharp cuts should not be there whenever you are designing any kind of casting part. So these things you have to maintain. Let's see what are the design guidelines for die casting. Okay, as you know, the die casting you are going to feed with the help of pressure chamber, and this is the sprue and this is the cavity. You are feeding the your molten material or molten metal from plunger or pressure chamber to the sprue to cavity, and this cavity and injector die and injector pins will be there. These will remove the solid part. Okay, and basically this is used for the manufacturing of many kind of plastic materials. Okay, so what are the design guidelines for die casting, that we will see. Suitable material consideration should be there. Various types of alloy recommended for the die casting. So these are the alloy maintained for different melting temperature, their ultimate tensile strength and castability. You can go through it and select your alloy according to your need. Now the wall thickness, sharp changes in the sectional area and a heavy section over 6 mm thickness should be avoided. Okay, so 6 mm thickness sectional area should be avoided, and uniform wall thickness should be maintained to achieve a minimum porous die. means porosity will be very less if you are maintaining the uniform wall thickness. And depending upon the casting size, the recommended, so depending upon the casting size and recommended wall thickness is 0.38 to 6.3 mm. Okay, so this wall thickness should be maintained whenever you are designing for any die casting part. Now these are the surface area, means recommended wall thickness for different kinds of surface area materials. Like for the zinc alloys, this is the range, aluminum and magnesium alloy, this is the range, and for the copper alloys, this is the range for different kinds of surface areas. So ribs are provided for the structural reinforcing, so you have to provide the ribs. And the minimum distance between the two adjacent ribs must be sum of their heights. So these are the things which you have to maintain whenever you are designing or following any kind of designing of die casting. This is incorrect way, and the correct way of providing the ribs is this. Then this is to avoid surface shrink, to connect the boss to the wall with a short rib. Okay. Similarly, you have to provide the draft, and draft angle depends on the type of alloys and the draft requirement. So what will be the data? So these are the draft angles for the inside wall depending on different materials and depth of wall you are providing. Okay, so these are the recommended draft angles for the die casting. And the radii and the fillet should be 1.5 times of the wall thickness for the both inside and outside radii. This should be recommended radius to allow generous radii at the internal and external corners of die casting. So this you have to maintain whenever you are designing. Insert should be there in such a manner that insert can be incorporated into die casted parts wherever it is necessary. Machining allowance should be provided. The allowance should not be less than 0.25 mm to avoid the excessive tool wear. So this is the limit of the machining allowance. So let's jump into the design guidelines for machining. Machining, as you know, that machining is a process of manufacturing in which desired dimension or surface finish can be achieved by removal of excess material. Okay. So this is the definition, and machining is also categorized into various types which you have already studied in the manufacturing process curriculum or syllabus. So we are discussing here the design guidelines for the machine, means what are the design principles which you have to consider whenever you are designing a part for machining. So it is always recommended to avoid machining operation if possible, because it is going to remove the material. So obviously your machining or manufacturing yield will be less. Okay, you are not going to optimize your profit. So the prime operation are to be simplified by considering most liberal surface finish. Surface finish should be liberal, and the dimensional tolerances, whatever dimensional tolerances you are going to maintain, that should be liberal, means it should not be very stringent, so that whenever you are facing any kind of problem, that should be removed whenever a worker is working for machining manufacturing operation. Now avoid tolerance that involve machining without affecting the part's function, means tolerance should not be there in every part. Okay, but wherever it is feasible, you can remove the tolerance for a better or best if it is allowable, as you can see in the picture. Now parts should be designed in such a way that it will be easy for fixturing and secure holding during the machining operation. Okay, this should not be like this, it should be like this and this. Okay, means design planar and shaper machine parts to be the stand cutting tool forces to be solidly clamped, means that should not be any kind of loose clamping and holding of the parts, so that whenever you are doing machining, it should not affect the quality of your machining parts. Use stock dimension whenever possible to minimize the machining. Okay, means stock dimension means you should not do the turning multiple number of times for your particular job of that operation. Okay, so try to find out your stock dimension whenever it is feasible, so that it will eliminate the machining operation or need of machining additional surfaces. Sharp corners and sharp point in the cutting tool are more prone to breakage, so you have to maintain the cutting tool edge whenever it is possible. Okay, so that it should not defect or affect the design feature. Similarly, design the part to be rigid to withstand cutting and clamping force, means you have to design a part in such a way that it should withstand the clamping and machining force without any distortion. Okay, so in this way you have to maintain, so that there should not be any deflection. If you will clamp this part like this, then definitely there will be some deflection, and if you will clamp the part like this, then it will not create any kind of cutting or clamping force in this. Okay, So these are the few design guidelines for machining. You can go through this. I will share this particular PPT with you so that you can get more insights about design guidelines for various manufacturing operations. So thank you so much for your patience listening. Do subscribe our Engineering College Banswara YouTube channel and get more content of engineering in different branches of engineering, mechanical, electrical, civil and computer science. Thank you so much.